Oh my God! Are you seeing what I'm saying? Singapore is not invited to the Democracy Summit. Why? I'm so confused. Why? How could the US do this to Singapore? Even Malaysia, okay? The messed up government is invited. Even for Taiwan, which is not a country but just an island, is invited. It's so embarrassing for Singapore not to get into the summit. Is it because Singapore is an authoritarian country and always ruled by one party and this is why it's not invited? But what is the big deal of this Democracy Summit? What big deal? It's not big deal, okay? They just go there only to lead the US balls by being anti-China. It's not a Democracy Summit but just an anti-China summit. The summit is just a nest for the snakes and rats to be there to create problems for the world and let the US take the lead, but nothing else. So what's so good about democracy that's more toward favoring the US system? The objective of this summit is clearly something that is against China and its communists. An anti-China summit to gather like-minded countries to join hands to weaken the Chinese power, apparently. So far, has democracy helped any one of us, common people, to make our life better? Cost of living is still every time going up. Things are getting expensive. More people have no homes to stay. Political parties are always smearing each other to get voters, allowing rebels to create troubles and fight against the government. And worst of all, the world leaders are getting more corrupt. It's true, man. You see, Malaysia is corrupt. Why is Najib still flying around here and there? Shouldn't he be in jail? The DPP of Taiwan is also corrupt. There's so much about their corruptions, including illegal smuggling of cigarettes and also the questionable fake English degree that the president who speaks Chinese but not English is holding. Therefore, those who are invited to a democracy summit are either corrupt or anti-China. This is what democracy turns the world into. This is why we see many people in the world suffering under democracy. The more they vote to change whoever to lead their country, the worse their lives have become. Do we see any progress in Malaysia after they kicked Najib out and Mahathir took over? The Malaysian government becomes chaotic and they keep on changing the prime minister until I don't know what the face is. And the Malaysians could fight against each other violently when it comes to election day. Democracy is used to make use of common citizens like us to give them, the leaders, power instead of citizens to have power the way they want the country to be. But this is not happening in China and not even in Singapore because we are a stable and long-term government to manage the countries with a clear vision and future. If we keep changing our government like how we are changing our girlfriends, how are you able to settle down? No need to marry, right? So I really don't wish my Singapore to change its government every time or every 5 years. PAP, be PAP forever! We don't change our parents, right? It's already proven in the US. Obama to Trump caused the US to be a big mess and it's changed to Biden and the citizens become more confused about where the US is actually heading. The US is in a mess and is gradually losing its power to China. Therefore, it's inviting those snakes and rats together to support the US to find a way to suppress China. This is the reason Singapore is not invited to the summit. Singapore does not want to take sides and will not support the US in any way to suppress China together. Hence, I'm so happy that Singapore is not invited at all so that it won't be sandwiched between the two powers. And what's so good about democracy? The most important thing is that we can live in peace and ignore who is fighting who for power. If not, it will only make our life miserable. Right? Subscribe, like, share, and leave down comments. Bye.